Hello again. Well, here's another one of those comments that need to be shared. And a viewer commented on MVI 4827, the fundamental problem with Islam is interpretation. And the viewer wrote that interpretation issue may apply to most religions. But I don't think that there are too many ways to interpret such phrases as, quote, kill the infidel, end of quote, or, quote, cut off hands and feet, end of quote, or, quote, strike off their heads, end of quote, other than literally. And these phrases are all in the Quran. What other way can these phrases be interpreted other than literally? So-called, quote, moderate Muslims, end of quote, are in denial about the evilness of their book, their, quote, prophet, end of quote, and their religion. If they ever came out of their states of denial, they will either have to become fundamentalist Muslims or apostates. There will never be a reformation of Islam unless 2/3 of the pages of the Quran are ripped out and the evil warlord, quote, Prophet Muhammad, end of quote, is denounced as a fraud. But that would mean Islam itself will no longer exist, because those things are the very guts and essence of Islam. Total elimination of this evil cult would be a good thing, and the sooner the better, before Islam destroys us. Wow. You know, the problem that I think we have is we waited too long. And I wrote this comment on one of my Facebook messages that I received. And what I said is that, and you've heard me say this before as well, Muslim men with their multiple wives produce about 10 children each. And the American man produces about 1.2 children each. And if you take a look at 2 congressional members that were sent to Congress, they're Muslims. Well, the only reason they got sent is because the Muslims in their states voted for them, and there were sufficient numbers to send them to Washington. And this is also happening across the world as far as country governments are concerned. Muslims, because they have such a large voting bloc, they put their own into key government positions. So it's simply a matter of time. You can't stop it. And I also said this more than once, one of the key traits that Muslims have is patience. King Abdullah has waited over, I believe, 55 years when he first got the idea of the Manchurian Candidate. You don't know who that is? Well, you must be a new viewer of mine. Yeah, the new Manchurian Candidate is at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. That's sort of what I think. I really appreciate my viewer taking the time to put together a comment that he or she did. I hope you take the time to listen to what she wrote to me, that I turned into a video. You can't interpret those kinds of words wrongly. Kill the infidel, cut off the hands and feet, strike off their heads. How else can you interpret them other than to their true meaning? The difference between moderates and radical Islamists is that the moderates don't take those words literally. The radical extremists do. Just a matter of time, folks. It's too late. Sharia law will be the law of the land. It might take 20, 30 years, but it's inevitable. That's what I think. So what do you think?